Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. This is William Heineman. I'm your host, and this is Just Force 911. And we look at how our public officials do their job, or they just really screw it up. Here is a public official, a building inspector. A lady is having some cosmetic work done on her home, not building anything, but cosmetic work, which does not have or does not need a permit. Okay. Now, to build a structure, to build, because walls, things like that, yes. Cosmetic, no. I'm sorry. If you're putting in a hutch, you don't have to have, a permit. To put a doorway in, no. To put a window in, no. Only if you're changing structure. So, this city employee goes in this lady's house when she's not home and looks around and goes around her property, looking in the windows and what have you. And the city says, yep, he's doing his job. Well, the problem is that she's a attorney. And I hope she sues the shit out of him. And I hope that it comes out of their pension fund instead of us taxpayers paying for it. So let's see the government overreach their boundaries again. Wow, aren't you surprised? I know I was shocked. See, here's my shock face. Hey guys, if you would do me a favor, hit the subscribe, the like and share, hit the thumbs up, and leave me a comment.
Marietta city officials told me an employee who was on this property saw visible signs of illegal construction activity. The homeowner told me the city employee walked onto this property up these steps and walked through her door, which she says was unlocked.
I'm extremely furious. As a single woman, I don't understand why somebody would just walk straight into my home.
Christina Broadway says she was at a funeral when her security cameras captured this Marietta city employee walk into her home, walk around the property, and look into a window.
Well, you gotta remember, city officials, they think they're gods. They think they can do whatever they want. Laws don't pertain to them. What the hell's wrong with you? They are the Lord keepers. If you want something done, you go to them because they know everything. They never screw shit up.
And then look into my windows where I keep my personal items. I don't feel safe at home anymore at all.
Broadway says the city never called her about what happened. She says she did get a call from the construction company she hired.
I got a phone call while I was at the funeral that they told my team to stop working on my home.
A construction worker who was at the home told me he didn't know what was happening.
He go outside for the room, he not tell me nothing.
Broadway says her workers were ordered to stop working before the city employee put a stop work order on her door. Broadway, who is an attorney, says she did some investigating and discovered a Marietta city employee with the building inspection division was inside her home.
The guy was very rude, and he told me, you have to stop working. You need permits for the work that's being done on the inside of your home. And I said, what are you talking about? I'm doing cosmetic things. And he said, you need a permit and you have to stop work. I said, why were you inside of my house? And he told me, no one told me to leave.
The city of Marietta told me an employee was inspecting another home when he discovered an unpermitted illegal construction site at Broadway's home, which the city says appeared to be unoccupied. A statement from the city reads in part, knowing that this property did not have any active building permits and with probable cause that unpermitted illegal construction was taking place, he approached the active work site. It goes on to say building permits are required to ensure construction meets safety standards and building code.
They said that he has a right to enter my home. And I read the case law, I read the code, and he does not have a right to enter my home.
If cops can't enter your home without probable cause, neither can this clown. I hope he gets his ass fired. Well, he won't because he's a public employee. He's a God keeper. They're not going to do anything to him because our government knows best for all of us. Just ask them.
Broadway told me she hasn't heard anything from the city about the problems. Marietta city officials told me the employee was wearing official identification on his hip and identified himself to workers who were there. They say he asked to speak to the property owner. The workers called her, but the city says she didn't answer. They say an internal review was also conducted and completed. We have the full statement from city officials on our website, WSBTV.com. Reporting from Cobb County, Michelle Newell, Channel 2 Action News.
And isn't it great how they look at, look into themselves to see if they did anything wrong? I just love how government does that. It'd be like asking me, William, have you done anything wrong? No, not at all. Nothing. Sorry. I'm boring. Hey, guys, remember, always record the police and your public officials because you can't trust any of them. They're a bunch of den of thieves. And always be good, be happy, be safe, and do something good for someone else. You never know when it'll come back. Have a good one, guys.